Hey everyone, welcome back. I thought I'd do something different this episode. I have my friend Randy here with me, and Randy is a member of the GP, so he doesn't have any idea what this is all about, so I thought it might be fun to just watch the video with him, and if he has any questions, he can ask them as we go along. Say hi, Randy.
Hello everyone, nice to be here today.
Alright, so we started the video, and you can see what I'm doing here is just placing rocks and doing terrain and so forth. And I do promise that I know all the past few videos have been nothing but me putting up trees and doing rocks and so forth. So that's only going to be a partial part of this. I'm going to do this one little section around the turnaround, and then I'll be building another ride and doing some supports. Then we'll be pretty much finished, and I'll be ready to start filming the actual ride video. So what do you think of all this, Randy? You've watched a few videos. What do you think of it?
Yeah, well, I think it's all very well done, and I really like the time you really spent on each of the rides. And I didn't know it was this hard to create these rides.
Yeah, it takes some time, definitely.
Yeah.
And there are people actually who, this footage is sped up 12 times. But there are people who, they have on one of these sites that I go to, they have something called a roundup. And once they get every time they get to like roundup 100, 150, 200, every week they do a roundup. And then when they get to these big numbers, people participate who have really worked a long time. You should see some of the work that people put into these rides that they put in, and they make a video and everything, and it's something they've worked on for like 2 years sometimes. There was one dude, I think he won roundup 150 if I'm not mistaken, and he did a whole coaster based on the Twilight Zone, and he eventually did a GoFundMe, where he got $1,000 to get the voice actor who does the voice for Twilight Zone. So that guy, he paid that guy to read the voiceover on his and so forth. It was really professionally done. It looked great. And the one who won the last one was on Roundup 200. He did Game of Thrones, a coaster inspired by Game of Thrones, and I think that one took like 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so I do not have patience like that. I tend to do things much more quickly. And just so what I'm doing here is, this is the other program I use to build coasters. This is FVD, which stands for Force Vector Design. It's just a different way of designing. So what I'm doing here is creating just like a little wooden coaster to sit on the side in this park, because my design idea for this park was that it was one that had been around for like a long time, and they had an old coaster there. So that's what I'm making right now, just to put in the background. So what else do you think?
Well, I really like wooden coasters.
You do? Yeah.
I do, yeah.
Which the only one you've ridden is Invader, right?
Yeah. So it's really gonna be very interesting to see how this comes out at the end.
It's pretty simple. I was actually having a lot of trouble with this because just for the people watching, you can see how it's twisting to the side, and I didn't want it to do that, and I was having a lot of trouble to get it to go where it was supposed to go. So it took me a little while. I actually built this in about 25 minutes.
Wow, really?
Yeah, usually it takes me much longer. I would perfect it and so forth. So this one's just something I just slapped together. So, but speaking of, you've been on, how many roller coasters you've been? I know you've been on Invader, and I know you've been on Verbolten, because we rode those together.
Right.
And that was all you would ride at Busch Gardens.
Yes, and also the one at Hershey Park.
You rode Sky Rush.
Sky Rush, yeah.
Which is ridiculous. That was the first roller coaster you ever went on?
No, not really, but first one since after a while, and but that's also been a while, so I was crazy to even...
You were crazy to get on. I mean, that's a pretty advanced ride to get on. That's actually my favorite, probably, steel coaster. So when you told me you'd ridden that, I was pretty surprised.
Yeah.
I could see why you didn't want to go on anything else.
Well, I pretty much had my eyes closed the whole time, so... But I still get to have the right to say I rode the ride.
That's right. And we're actually going to Hershey Park next month, so I guess you're not going to ride again, right?
No, I'll just watch you guys.
Yeah.
Hold your stuff for you.
That's right. We got a bunch of people, actually. I'm going to Hershey Park on March 30th, which is a Friday. I think that's opening day, or else they open the weekend before. I can't remember. But we're going to go there just to ride everything. I'll film some footage and make a video of that, because I want to start doing that kind of thing on the channel, where I show some stuff from parks, talk about them, review them, and so forth. Actually, Randy said I am very opinionated, and it was his idea that I should do reviews and so forth. So I'm going to do that. So what do you think of that?
No, yeah, I'm really happy you're doing this because, you know, for many of you who don't know Robert, you know, he's so into roller coasters, and I think I didn't even know there was a whole group just for people who love roller coasters. So I said, you know what, make a whole channel out of it, you know, and make people, you know, educate people like me, you know, about these roller coasters so we appreciate it better.
This is the on-ride of the one I just built really fast. I stuck it in there. It's just supposed to be off on the side. Obviously, I need to move the trees and so forth, but you can see it's a pretty quick ride. I actually came up with an idea of why this ride is so short. I said in my mind that, let's say back in 1940 it was built or so, and then say the 50s, part of the ride burned down and the park didn't have money to finish it up all the way back to what it was, so instead they just sort of cut off the ending and ended it right there, so that's why it's so short. So what I'm doing here is just cleaning up some of the terrain, and I'm going to start putting in a few other rides, a few other buildings and so forth, just to make it a little more realistic. I'm not going for total realism here, just a general idea of what the park would look like. So here I'm going to put in a fence, and then I'll put in some lights and so forth. And once this is done, I think I have an idea for the video I want to film for the showcase of the POV. I think what I'm going to do is to create like a commercial for the park, like coming in 2018 and saying something like, you know, this park has been around for a long time and now they've got something new and so forth. And the name of this coaster, by the way, is Something Wicked, so I'm going to use that somehow in there. And then, so that'll be like 15 or 30 seconds, and then we'll take a ride on the coaster after that. It'll be nice and clean looking and so forth. So, yeah, you can see that a lot of work went into that.
Yeah.
It's a pretty nice program. You want to try it?
The ride?
No, the program.
The program? No, actually,
You're gonna pass.
I rather watch you do it and see the outcome. You know, I've been learning a lot as I watch through your videos, and you know, yeah, just looking forward to seeing more of your work.
So the next thing I'm going to do after this, once I finish this, I think I'm going to use the other program, which is Planet Coaster. I think I'm going to either showcase some of the parks that I've already built, or else I'm going to start working on a new park. And then I did show you part of that video I was working on for the one I've already built. That one's taken me quite a long time because it's a lot of editing.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, I really like that, the animation, and
yeah.
You know, it has a really more realistic theme park feel. People walking around.
Yeah.
It looked really fun too.
That's one of the things that about this particular program. There's Planet Coaster, and there is this one, No Limits 2. And our video just froze, but that's all right. We got about 2 minutes. That's one of the things that the big difference between the two is that No Limits 2 is very sterile in terms of you can make exactly what you want in terms of the coaster. It's very easy to build a very realistic coaster, but one of the things I really miss in it is having people walk around and so forth. So that's one of the reasons I like playing Planet Coaster, because you can have people walking around. It's just much more, there's more life to it and so forth, even though the coasters and all that aren't as realistic. But so there's differences between the two. It'd be really cool if you could take rides from this and import it into the other one, but unfortunately you can't do that, and I don't see it.
It's just nice to kind of, you know, see themes in different parks,
right,
and how each of the rides fits in each theme, and how you actually modify the environment to, you know, support the theme. So it's really very creative, and just I feel like it's very, very cool.
Yeah, that's one of the things I like about it, actually. You should see some of the videos of some of the people, especially not in this program, but also in Planet Coaster, are extremely creative. And it's just amazing what they can do and what they can come up with. So it's very inspirational too. So, but it looks like the video's over. So I told you it would be quick, so it wouldn't be too bad, right? You were so worried about it. So
Shit.
that's it. All right, so that's
I
it.
died.
We're going to end it here. And the next thing you will see when I upload, probably on Thursday, if I have it ready by then, is the complete video. So like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. And I'll see you next time.
See y'all next time.